some bullshit in this one. Let's go. Hey, y'all.
I just waiting for me to respond.
No.
You was like, some bullshit with this one. I was like, it always is.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to this week's episode of
The Breakdown.
I'm Shakita.
I'm Treasure.
Welcome.
What up, what up, what up?
Before we start, hit that like, share,
subscribe.
All right. Treasure, what's our topic this week?
We are talking about the Netflix special Operation Varsity Blue.
Operation Bullshit.
So this is the college admission scandal. This was a scandal that lasted between 2011 to 2019. If you haven't watched this special, please go ahead and watch that. It's on Netflix. It was pretty interesting for me, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because it's real out here, not just for black and brown communities. It's real out here for everyone. It's no more, oh, we can't get into these Ivy League schools because of a certain quota or a certain standard. Like, you're going to have to work hard. Or you're going to have to make your kids work hard. It's not just about having a name anymore. It's kind of like free reign. We can talk about nepotism and everything as far as, white communities and how they put their kids in certain positions, which is the case. But at the same time, we also have to talk about class. Because at this point in time, like, even if you have the capital, that doesn't mean your kids gonna get in. If you don't have the capital, it doesn't mean that your kids are smart enough to get in either. So with this scandal, I really wanted to bring it and shed some light onto the situation because I just thought it was necessary.
Yes, go watch it, first of all. It's still on Netflix.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good. I cussed the whole movie, okay? I cussed the whole movie, and it made me think about just how sneaky and easy that a lot of these high class people feel that they can be, like talking on the phone. Mm-hmm. You don't know who you talking to, and they're just making like right out on the phone, front door, back door, side door, and I'm gonna call this one and that. Like, they really don't care at this point.
No, they have one agenda and one agenda only, and the crazy thing about it all is it lasted, 8 years? Mm-hmm. But the only reason we're shedding light on this whole situation is because good old U.S. didn't get their taxes. That was it. Yep. That's the only reason. They wouldn't have cared. They wouldn't have batted a lash or nothing. They didn't care. They just was getting cut out of their own money. So they said, we about to crack down.
Because it's more so like, you think about it, Singer, he was doing what these robots do when they call us and try to steal our money. He just did not care. My man just wanted to swim and live his best life in mansions like everybody else that he wanted to be like. And for him to be still living in Sacramento, living his best life until they decide to lock him up and they catch everyone, that's crazy to me.
They're not going to lock him up. I don't think so. But my thing about him is, I'll give him more credit than that. Because this was diabolical. Like, he set it up as a shell company. So this is what happened. He would go to families and say he was a college admissions counselor to help certain kids get into universities such as like Georgetown and Yale and Princeton. And so we all know that these are Ivy League top schools. Mm-hmm. So he would come to a family and be like, hey, I can get your kids in using a key method. It's either you want to go through the front door or through the back door. And it's going to be costly. So these families would spend up to like $250,000 just so that their kids can go into these institutions.
Yep. And this, for him, was a $200 million company that this man made on his own.
Not even a company, a non-profit. A non-profit that you can make taxable. That's why we can even talk about this.
This is why even it goes a little like right now where we are, right? You saw they released it that Biden was like he's not going to raise taxes for the middle and lower class. He's going to raise it for the rich. And my thing is like that's still not hurting them, Biden, because they're going to make up all these donations and charities and give money and act like it's money. It's still money, and it's still money in their pocket. You're not changing their wealth at all.
They're going to go to China. They're going to go to Pakistani countries, Asia. They're going to go wherever, set up the business, because they don't got to pay taxes over there. And they'll just write, like you said, write it off, figure out a way to say, hey, I don't have this money. It's over here. It's in a shell company. It's over here. It's overseas. It's in a Swiss bank account. I don't have to pay. So that's what they do. These are the things that they do.
Same as Wall Street, and that's what they're trying. It's just Wall Street closed down behind closed doors. That's what they thought they were doing. Now he done went from that to a snitch. But let's talk about how I was just in awe on how this man would tell the parents, send me a picture. I'm going to go ahead and get them a lower profile sport like water polo or something like that, canoeing, what's the kayaking.
The stuff we don't watch.
Copy, paste them. They don't even come to school and do these sports at any point in time. They don't even have to prove that this is what they came to school for. They just come in as a walk-in at this point and just go to school.
It was crazy. He photoshopping pictures.
And he thought that it was cool.
And this is the backdoor policy. This is the, I'm going to need some more money. Because he had to talk to college athletic directors and say, hey, I'm going to give you a piece of the pie. I'm going to give you money for your sport. Even the one guy who got in trouble with this whole situation, white guy, I think he was sailing coach. He was a sailing, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. But he was a sailing coach. He just took the money and was like, okay, well, I don't need any money. I'll just donate it to the team. And still got in trouble. Didn't know anything that was going on. He got fired. He lost his wife. He lost his family.
Well, I can say, and I'm funny because I'm taking this quote from the New York Post, right? So they sum it up as in the doors, right? So they say, there was the front door for kids who can get into elite colleges on their own merits. There was the back door where parents could write a sizable check, hoping it was enough zeros to sway the admissions office. So even the admissions office was full of shit, okay? And then there was Singer's side door, which he opened with his company called Key. At the end of the day, him and Lori Lawton got off, to me, the best out of everyone else.
I didn't know she got off like that. What did she?
No. Okay, let me read these charges. Let me read to you what they were sentenced.
I thought she got like.
Honey, let me update you on the information. Mind you, old boy is still sitting out there in Sacramento swimming in his pool, living his best life until everyone is locked up or have served time. A lot of them have served time. We just don't know who they are because they're a little bit more low profile in the community of the rich, right? But the three top people besides him was, so you have, now, this is what pisses me off. Felicity Hoffman. Felicity paid $15,000 just to get her daughter a perfect SAT score. Listen to this. And then I'm going to go back and do what they got served, okay? Aunt Becky paid $500,000 to Singer and argued the fact that she really thought it was a donation.
A liar. A bad one at that, because she knew her kids really didn't have.
To get her dum-dum and her daughter in school, okay?
Her daughter knew how?
Her daughter was all up on YouTube saying that she didn't like school. Okay, this is all in the show, so I don't have to say disclaimer on nothing, because this was all in the show. And then the dad, who was Massimo? I think he was Lori's husband, wasn't he?
What was his last name?
Yeah,
that's her husband.
Yeah, he paid $250,000 on top of her $500,000, right?
So we're almost close to a milli. We're at 750,000.
Okay, so let me break Felicity Hoffman's end result. Now y'all tell me that they're trying to say, okay, first of all, they were trying to say that she was the most popular, most famous out of all of them. Now, I don't remember a lot of Felicity's movies or shows, but I look at Aunt Becky because Aunt Becky been Aunt Becky since Full House and a lot of Lifetime movies.
She's supposed to be a better role model.
Period. So how about let's take her show off TV like they was trying to do Bill Cosby, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But so Felicity Hoffman, all right, she got 14-day sentence, 1 year probation, a $30,000 fine, 250 hours of community service at a rehab for the homeless teens, split time with a foundation called A New Way, which is for women formerly incarcerated to re-enter society. In that, she is cooking, cleaning, shopping, answering phones.
A bunch of bull. A bunch of bull.
Now, Lori argued and petitioned this for how many months? That she did not do this.
It's just lies. Like, I'm just so, like, what? Like,
hold on.
Like, how do you even argue this? Like, ma'am, like, they caught you on the phone. Like, they tapped these phone. Like, how can you even argue it? And the crazy part is, he sat up there and let them rap on the phone to him.
Because he was ready with the FBI. He didn't care about that. So, listen to what Lori got. After fussing and cussing and fighting, right? She got 2 months in prison, but was released days early. 2 years supervised probation, 100 hours of community service, and they didn't even say where her community service was for, and $150,000 fine.
Where's the records? Because I want to know, where was her cell? Where was the...
I really don't feel like she even seen like a cell, because...
She probably didn't. She ain't seen nothing. She probably was in the house. They could have just put her on house arrest. This don't even seem like real charges to me.
So, this is what white privilege gets you.
Yeah.
So then her husband, they ended up giving him more. So, this is how they explained his charges. He got a harsher sentence than his wife because he interacted with singer Moore. But as the man of the house, he's going to take more of the charges. Any man would if he was a real man. Right?
Exactly. So why he didn't just take all her charges?
I would have took all her charges. But the federal don't, the FBI don't play that. Because you remember Teresa and Joe Giudice, they didn't do that.
Check this out. If you laying down with somebody at night, then you know what's going on. So she knew what was going on.
Of course she did.
Come on now.
Because she's the one, I think, in the movie where they made it where they asked the one was it the coach or the assistant principal? What was the white guy who was scared? And then
it was like a counselor. It was our counselor.
And he went there, and then the dad went to the school and threatened him.
Yeah, it was the counselor. The counselor was scared out of his little meek life.
So dad only got in total 2 years, 2.5 years in prison. He had to pay back the $250,000 fine, and he got 250 hours of community service. That is not a harsher sentence.
I know people, you know what I'm saying, back in like 80s, maybe even like late 70s, 80s, you had just a nickel of weed on you getting harsher sentences. And now weed is legalized so in certain states, so it's just like, it's crazy. You've not only taken away you've taken away opportunities for other children
Mm-hmm.
who probably had the grades, the means, the know-how to actually solidify their future. But you just
Who work so
hard.
hard in school. You have kids
Hard.
who have anxiety for getting a B, and kids who try to kill themselves to get GPAs and actually worry about what their future going to look like. And you privileged people want to sit up here and continue to pay for your child to get in school just to say that your child is going to this school. It has nothing to do with the children. They could care less.
She didn't need it. She was on YouTube having how many followers and subscribers? Like thousands, like 5,000.
So speaking on that, that is what made the counselor question her approval of getting in Harvard, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Because he knew she wasn't that girl.
He even said, does she even play a sport? What sport? We have never seen her run or even fast walk to her next class. He was like, yeah, I knew something was, he said, I knew something was fishy. Yeah, of course you did.
And it's so sad because I looked up statistics, right, of just like now, of this past year and a half. Like it said 72% of white students finish 4-year degrees within 6 years of an Ivy League school, compared to 56% Hispanic and 46% Black. And that's because they're not even allowed to the school. And the one article I read, it was basically saying that it's very hard for like someone like us to get into the school. You would have to be of African descent, who has millions of dollars, again, who maybe could pay for your child to get into school. That's crazy to me.
It's just, this is the world that we live in. Like I said, it's not it's about Black and brown people taking up space and having these opportunities. But now you even see it's about dollar bills. It's about even more than that. And then still these schools haven't even said a word about, because it's more kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more kids. So then what do? Do you take their certificates or their degrees away from them? What do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you do now? Because like I said, it's 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we saying? And to say this as well, it may be a Black family who had millions who wanted their child to go to Yale. So I'm saying for everyone who has sat there and gave him any type of money, what do you do?
And my thing is he's at home. I'm still talking about the fact that he's at home. And I'm tired of this white privilege where they don't feel like they deserve to go to jail. And he should have been in jail. And do you know how many serial killers that's in jail and still assisting with the FBI with names and things like that, for this man to still be walking free? And he's probably still a millionaire at this point.
Oh, of course. You don't think he has some, like I said, Swiss bank account or something?
Mm-hmm.
It's something somewhere else that he's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to just live my life. I'm going to just do what I want to do. I'll continue with my day to day. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, he built a non-profit. Matter of fact, it was a lady who was engaged to him and was just like, I never knew the complexities of his life, because he was one of those dudes who shut it on and off. He looked like a regular beach bum.
Mm-hmm.
And no one even knew what or how he even got started, because it's crazy. Like you said, SATs are what 3 times a year or whatever. The fact that he even knew to say that these kids have disabilities or learning disabilities, where he could even sanction someone to proctor the test privately, and then take the SATs for the child. It's crazy. It's crazy that he can even think these things out.
You're out here making fake IDs and having other people sit in and do this and that, and I'm just like, wow. You really, I would have worked that hard too for millions of dollars.
how did this get started? Why didn't we have like a better way of doing these things?
I just feel bad for kids in our society, in our communities who don't even get a chance to know what that feels like.
Mm.
You know, the best that they'll probably ever get to is one of Howard or Morehouse, something like that. They're never going, even if they dream of getting to a school like that, their chances are so low.
But touching on this subject, this is like one isolated, that is now almost over, incident. There are discussions, there are boards, there are just like secret meetings to say, hey, you don't have to do that. What's your last name? What's your grandfather's name? Mm-hmm. Oh, he went here? Okay. Your grandfather pledged here? Okay, cool. Okay, that's your last name? Okay, I know you're supposed to be. So there, like I said, nepotism is real in this case. You don't see that because people are paying. They do have names or they do have some type of status because of their money.
That's where
but it does happen.
Are coming from.
It does happen.
Yeah.
So now, as a community, we have to set up or step up to the plate and say, look, as much as maybe some people don't want to hear this, fuck your child being a rapper, a singer. I'm sorry, I get it. I love music. I love the arts. Yes, I went to school for the arts. You get what I'm saying? So, fuck all of that. We need to put our children in positions where as though we can control the narrative, because obviously we can't. We can't control this narrative. You get what I'm saying? So, fuck all the dumb shit. Let's get into something different. Whether it be coding, whether it be, like social activism, whether it be judges, you know what I'm saying? Like
producers.
Something.
You have even, and that's what I really, really, really love about Tyler Perry. People say he started from the bottom. Like, he started from the bottom. Like, his story is like crazy to me. And now you think he has Tyler Perry Way. His studio, you can go there every day and audition. You don't need a college degree. Even if you have a college degree, you can start somewhere and work your way up. You have so many people who have, let's change it too. Like, I don't like the fact that even with the school system, I know so many people as of right now who has their degree and they're not working in their degrees.
Of course.
Let's change it where it's like, okay, even when they're in school, some kids are prepared for that next route in college and some kids are not. But for those kids who are not, what is a better route for you? And for those kids who don't get approved for a specific college that they want to, okay, well, what's plan B, C, D?
Mm-hmm.
Because some parents just get in their head, well, you're going to college and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And these kids from middle school to high school are like, it's banged in their head. I think that's foolish too.
Let's bring the magnet schools back that actually tailor to something that are, that especially for this generation, that they can get out of high school with and actually use. I remember first going to Woodlawn High School, and they had an EMT program my first year, and they had a cosmetology program. So you saw the boys cut hair after school on Thursdays, or they had Mesa, and they did like the different showcases and everything where they made robots and stuff. That happened one year. My 9th grade year, I walked in and all of those magnets walked out. So I mean, bring back those things. Bring back PAL centers that actually, outsource in the community and get people fired up to impute these things into our children. Yeah. If we do not impute these things into our children, we do not have a future. We don't.
At all. Because at the end of the day, you can't say, well, I'm trying to build generational wealth, but what's going to happen when those kids get that wealth, right? What are they going to do with that money? Blow it up, drug it up, do whatever. Like, they're not prepared. It's sad when, this was my son graduated this year, and he graduates, and then they get a job if they decide to do that, and it's like, okay, well, I'm working, but what else is there to do? And if I sit here and I Google, there's nothing in the community that can further what you would want to do. And my thing is like, okay, what's next? And that's a sad part to me because, you know, even when they used to have driving school, they don't even do that now.
Oh, at school? Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't do that. You gotta go spend your money somewhere else.
Oh my God. We need to talk about that. Driving school gives me the hives every time I think about it. Like, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. And I feel like when the kids come out of school, they're not prepared.
No. They just go home. They go home, and if do you have someone in the house? They see them in the house. If they don't, they just see, oh, my mom works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my dad, I don't see him that much, but he works. And that's just the norm that they see. So they don't see like, oh, I could go and do a 2-year program, 3-year program, and become a truck driver. I can get my CDLs, or I can become an electrician technician, or I can, you get what I'm saying? Like, especially for young black and brown males, oh, it's 10 times harder.
Yeah.
I'm doing training right now for Care First, and it's only one black brother in the class. It's 25 females. So it's at a dissonance telling other black men that, hey, y'all need to go find something to do. Y'all might have to work with y'all hands, and that's just what it is. You're going to have to find a job, manual labor, something. It's not showing them like, oh, you can go a different route, different avenue. Like, it's stacked up against them because they're thinking, okay, I know I'm smart, but they're not really looking for me. They're looking for black women. So it's just like, it's a dissonance. It's a change in the culture. You get what I'm saying? So it's tough out here. You got to get these kids together.
Yeah, and that was the only reason we kind of brought this to light, because of the fact that we just, not to say, well, the movie was good. So first of all, the movie was good.
Shout out
and
Netflix.
It definitely, Netflix did a wonderful job for that. And shout out to the damn FBI at this point, because about damn time
Cracking these cases
and whipping their ass in jail. And well, I guess if that's where they went and what they did. But at the end of the day, we got to look out for our kids and our communities and try to figure out a different route for them, because it looks like if everything is stacked up against them when it comes to being in that type of atmosphere. And my thing is like, I don't know, it's foolery.
It's foolishness. All of it is foolishness. Back door, front door, side door, I don't care. A key, without a key. How did this even come about?
Because, and I even say that when you were saying about the fact that, you know, the kids don't know an avenue to go when they come out of school. Even with elite kids going to an elite school, they go from 12th grade, they know they're packing their stuff up, and then they go into college. And they have absolutely no idea by year 4 what they're going to do, because it wasn't something they wanted to do. It was forced upon them.
Yeah, like now I'm realizing like, yo, I could have went to school and became like what is it? Like a physical therapist for like the Lakers or something. Like I could have did but because I only saw 2-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because I only saw what was in front of my, like, there's a quote in this like you're afraid of your potential, who you could be. I'm not afraid of that because I don't know what it is. You get what I'm saying? I can't even see it. I don't even know. Like, I knew I like sports, but I don't really like, you know, maybe doing all this running. Like, what could I have done differently? Could I have became a coach? How do you become a coach? Do you need a degree? Could I be in physical therapy? I still want to see the games. Like, I could only see what was in front of my face.
Yeah.
I did not. My father used to say, do what you like. Do what make you happy. And I'm just like, what is it?
Because even at the end of the day, you think about it, they already stereotype us in one way. So black men are, you want to go to college by playing sports. I don't even know where they put us black women at.
Well, now, I mean, as far as that, black women do graduate. No, they graduate more than black men. Certain cities.
But what was the end goal of like careers? I can see that, but I still don't see it. You know what I mean?
Like what?
like I don't see like what's the end goal. Like I know what the stereotype is for a black male sports in school, but for me, I never went to college, right? But my thing is like I'm just still trying to figure out what would I have wanted to do. I am 41, and I still don't know what the hell.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean.
With women, it's basically like we gotta figure this shit on the fly.
No, I'm seeing
on the survival tip. Like we're about to figure it out.
We are made to survive any way necessary, regardless. I feel like black women are made to just basically, you're gonna, if your family had a little bit of money, then you are okay with succeeding somewhere. You're gonna figure it out, right? But when you're coming from where we come from, it's kind of hard, because I feel like too, we are put in this thing where you're either going to have a baby, you're going to be a homemaker, you're going to just work a regular 9 to 5.
It's avenues, yeah.
Yeah, it's so many things. So, like, I started seeing a life coach. We didn't even get to talk about that.
That's dope. That's great. It'll help you as far as, like, thinking things, like, totally.
Yeah, because, you know, we talk all day, but it's more of in the, like, where I am at 41, I've raised both of my kids, and this has been since 16 until this year. I know what I want to do next, so many different things, but in my mind, it's like I still don't know or where to begin, and in my and I need that kind of unscrambled a little bit.
Yeah, you need somebody that's unbiased.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know you at all.
And give me tasks to do. Like, I love the fact that she gives me, that is an awesome idea, matter of fact, because I don't know where I wanted to do a life coach from, but I was just Googling. I still Google since I've been home. And very inexpensive, but I just felt like I didn't need a therapist. I needed a life coach, and life coach meaning career-wise. Where am I going at my age? Because at 41, I feel like now I should be further along. But what she told me was, at being 41 and where I am now, I'm okay. Because I did dedicate my life to raise my kids.
Right.
That was my beginning.
You're in your second quarter.
Yes. So chapter 40, it's like now I have to figure it out. I know that I don't want to be in the career that I'm in, and my career is full of nothing but women. You're a woman or you're a gay male. Because I've never really seen a lot of straight men in being an optician.
Right.
You know that. How many women did you work with?
A lot of women. So that brings it back full circle. Like where, like as far as like black women, like where do they see? Because you gotta.
But there's not that many black women as opticians. There's a lot of.
I don't know. I mean, we was at Kingsville.
Well, we was in a black area.
Yeah. So it depends. Where are you? Like, are you in a black area? Yeah. Okay, then that's what you're gonna see.
But my life coach gives me, like, when I talk, I see her twice a week. Okay, Shakita, this day, between this day and this day, this is what I want you to kind of figure out. And the next time we talk, then we're going to figure out, okay, let's listen to those things and let's figure out how we can accomplish those within this time frame. And what you would like to do, how about go out and talk to people or do this to figure it out?
Right.
So that's where I am now with trying to figure it out, and that's me not having a college education. I've taken courses, I'm certified in things. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's still like weird.
I feel you. It's the unknown, and that's what these kids are having fear of, the unknown. It's like I said, it's that anxiety feeling of, am I making the right decision? Let me weigh it out. I gotta figure it out. I gotta do it so like that's where especially my anxiety is. I don't ever want to look like the fool. I don't want nobody to cheat me out of nothing. I don't want nobody to ever like make me feel like I have made the wrong decision.
And I agree with you, because that's how I feel too. And that's how I feel like when it comes to these kids, these parents be pushing that on them instead of letting them try to figure it out. I get it. You don't want them to just sit around and be normal, but you can't force it down their throat.
And even if you don't force it, reinforce it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, like I said, my dad used to be like, oh, do what you like. Do what you want to do. Like, make sure that you get a job that you like doing every day. And I was like, bro, like, can you show me exact? You know what I'm saying? Take your child out. Ask them, do you like this? Would you like to do this? It wasn't until I got into college and I was like, oh, I'm going to take vocal performance and music education. Then my parents were like, Dag, well, what is she going to do? Then my mom started coming to me with lists, which was the best thing she could have ever did, with lists on music historians. Music that, like, you can go working.
I could have seen you as a bomb producer, though. I could have seen you as an engineer on.
So that's where it goes. Like, you have to ask a child, okay, what do you like to do? And then come to that child with a list. Like, that's what I'm. So everybody who has a child out there, you got a child that's either in middle school or about to enter in high school, or even in high school right now. You ask them and you say, what do you like to do? And you come at them with a list and say, hey, maybe we should go this route. Let's go check some things out. Let's do some research. I feel like, especially when I become a parent, I'm going to start calling. If I don't know anything, I'm going to put you in the direction with somebody who knows it. Here you go. Here goes the phone. You talk to them. You see what they do. Do you like it? Okay, we're going to go see them. That's what you have to do.
Because at the end of the day, everything isn't about $1. Kids, I know the kids want money, and I get that. But sometimes they can still go to work, and they can still go to somewhere where they excited about and want to see. And T.I. actually did that on his show.
Mm-hmm.
T.I. and Tiny, when his kids were a little younger, before they really started rapping and getting into the music. And his youngest son, I think it was Major, one of the boys, he was really into science.
Mm-hmm.
So he took him to see a scientist. Everything that he thought that his kids wanted to be or do, even when, some of his children are in the music, him and Tiny, and I love that about their show. They took their kids in different experiences and different environments to say, well, you go here and let's talk to them and see. Some of them was like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing music. Some of them are great now in music, and that's what they want to do. How the son, what's his name? Damani.
Yeah.
He produces and write and sing, rap. And my thing is like, I think that that's awesome. They started their children out young, even though, yes, they have the money to be able to set that up. But I still say that we can still do that in the real world out here.
Yep, you can. It's very easy. It's very possible. One of the things my mom did, especially when I was in high school, she put me in to Delta Gems, which was like an organization where they would talk to younger, females in high school. And we would go do community service. We would go see different colleges and do college tours. We would talk about our experiences, what we struggled with as far as like just our day-to-day, what we struggled with in school. They helped us in any, just different ways. So, I mean, like, you just got to outreach people. And if you can't reach out to anybody in your area or in your community, then you be the change. You rustle up all the, teenagers, preteens, and you say, hey, what do you guys have an issue with? Is it school? Do we got to meet up? Do we got to do homework together? Do we have to go on trips together? Let's get them out of the city, out of Baltimore, and go to different places and open up their horizons and broaden their viewpoint. Because like I said, if children are only seeing it two-dimensional, then that's what their life is going to be, two-dimensional. It's a bunch of worrying, a bunch of anxiety on which way to go.
Yes, in school, stop taking them on these bullshit trips that they don't want to see, about. Y'all teaching them a whole bunch of history about stuff that's incorrect. You might as well take them on trips, middle school on up through high school, to show them like these are different careers.
Definitely.
So, well, y'all, I hope y'all really enjoyed this episode of The Breakdown.
Yes, very informative. We thank you guys for viewing.
Again, like, share,
subscribe.
See you next time.
Peace.
Peace.